Welcome back, big fellas, to Convos with Craig. I'm your host, Craig Paul Cox. Today's just me again because I want to keep on trying out this new format and see how you guys like it. But this is a fun episode. If you're watching the video, you may see that I'm wearing a Mickey Mouse hat. Excuse me. So it's gonna be kind of a Disney Central video. But before I go forward, I do like to talk about the Bibles of the episode. Let's see what we got here. So Titus chapter 1, verse 11. For the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation to all men. Then verse 12, instructing us to deny ungodliness and worldly desires, to live sensibly and wisely and godly in the present age. Man, I just love how it's kind of sums everything up for the gospel. Deny what's evil, follow what's good, and just live an awesome, righteous life. So I pray that we take this verse this week and we really, think about it a lot and what it means to truly live a life honoring to God. Now, this week, I kind of teased in the last episode, we're gonna talk about Disney a lot in this one. Um, because I wanted to talk about one big thing we're gonna get into is what I would do to create my own Disneyland, to build my own Disney park. And before I go in deep, I want to make sure that my microphone is hooked up. Let me see. Looks like it might be giving me trouble. Give me 1 second. Let me see right here. I should have checked this before I start the episode. But that's okay. That's okay. I think I might need to put it into this side of my laptop. Nope, I don't actually. So as I'm going through this, let me see, I heal some technical difficulties with. Let me see. Give me 1 second to get this set up. Well, I might just have to improvise it and just keep on going. Um, I don't know why it's not coming up. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Now I got everything set up and squared away. Hopefully the audio sounds 1,000 times better, I assume. Well, there we go. There we go. All right. Now let's get into the episode. Before I go into the main topic, I want to talk about three good things to start off this show. Three good things about Disney parks that make it separate and different from any other theme park or entertainment industry that's out there at the moment. I gotta go with one of the good things is the live entertainment. The live entertainment for the fireworks, for the shows, the parades. You can't find that in any park. Okay? Other parks, they have parades, they have stage shows, they have stuff, but nothing. that even compels to what Disney has. Nothing at all. So, like for example, even when we go to Hollywood Studios, Hollywood Studios has like the Beauty and the Beast show, the Little Mermaid, the Villain show, and even the 3D and Magic Kingdom's parades, like Not So Scary, Boutique Parade's one of my favorite Disney parades of all time. Just can't beat it. And the fireworks is just such an iconic part of Disney, the Disney experience. Can't go on. Can't go on with that. Second, I gotta say the theming. I mean, Universal's getting up there with how good their theming is, especially in Epic Universe. Like very, you can see how they're building it up, nice and strong. But I gotta give, but the every part of Disney, like every part of it, like even the hotels, the shopping area, everything's intensely themed in a certain way. It just always blows it out of the park. So I gotta give Disney like kudos for the great theming. And I gotta say, the storytelling for the rides, like the way that they tell this as the Fedgar thing, as the way when they tell stories for the rides, like for Haunted Mansion. It's a basic plot. Like you go in a haunted house and you gotta try to find your way out. But with all the ghosts in there, so much lore and background you can add to it, which you don't need to know. Wait, when I say lore, like basically like every room and every ghost in a haunted mansion has a backstory behind them. But you can if you go in and know that, it adds more. You come in and out and you don't know any of that, that's still okay. And that's what makes Disney rides like so unique that they have that going into them. So just storytelling beyond anything you can have at a theme park. But so summarize my three good things again. Number one for Disney, for three good things about Disney, is the live entertainment, parades, fireworks, shows. Number two, theming, the way they construct the buildings, like got the hotels, the shopping area, everything is just out of the park, and it's very good. And my favorite thing about Disney, again, as a summary, it's got to be the storytelling. Storytelling is 100% top tier for Disney. And while I'm at it, if you do love me, if you love me, you would do this. If you don't love me, try loving me, then do this. Be sure you're subscribed to Konvos with Craig on YouTube, follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, where we listen, and sell it to your Instagram story. Our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube before the 4th of July. Because on the 4th of July, exclusive here now, the honor America's 250th birthday, I'm gonna do a 250-minute episode of Convos with Craig. A live, not live, not live. I haven't figured that out yet. I barely know how to work my microphone from Zoom, and my phone for the podcast wasn't it's just recording because I lost my AirPods and I can't find them anymore. So I gotta do that. But get to 1,000 subscribers. I'll do a 250-minute episode that will release on July 4th in honor of America's 250th birthday. So make it happen. Make it happen, captains and miss captains or captainettes. Or probably just captains. I don't know what the female tone for captain is, but I do know our next topic. Disney tips. I'll quite a few tips before I get into on next segment. Which our next segment's what we're going to spend most of this episode on. And I'm very excited about it. So this is my tips for Disney. Tip number one, you gotta know the My Disney experience app. You gotta know how it works. It's become one of the most important features of a Disney vacation. You can't go to Disney World without using that. You use the app as to check wait times from the park. You can mobile order. You buy your lightning lanes and your individual lighting lanes, which we'll get into more in a second. through the app. You book dining reservations through the app. Most of the time, if you go to a restaurant, you could get on and walk on, but sometimes even better do it through the app. So times like schedule for the shows and parades, it's on the app. There are some park maps and some of the people's fiends that have the schedule on it, but the park, but it's just the way to go. Um, the app is 100% the way to go. So you gotta own the My Disney Experience app. So my advice for anyone going to Disney, this is probably one of the most important tips, is you gotta learn how to use the app, play around with it, so you know the different features of the app. Because if you don't understand it, you will not understand your Disney vacation. You will not understand any of that stuff. So be sure that you do that. And something cool that I picked up on a recent trip to Dallas before I move into talking more about lightning lanes is I got this cup from a vintage toy store. You can't see in the podcast form, but it's a McDonald's cup. But it's from when Dino Land first opened or Dino Land was about to open. I don't know if this is in the parks or if this. Well, I don't think it. Well, it wasn't in the box because it says opens, not opening. So this is an Animal Kingdom Cup for the Dinosaur Land, My Favorite Land, and the Dinosaur Ride, My Favorite Ride, which originally was called Countdown to Extinction, and it was that lane was sponsored by McDonald's. So it has some cool arc right there. Up in spring 1998. So this is like a limited edition cup for like an opening of Animal Kingdom. And now since Dinosaur closed, it's even better. Slowly like getting a collection of like dinosaur stuff. Because I would have gotten more of it when I was there. But you live in your either way, pretty cool thing. I saw that and I had that. I like collecting Dex toys and knickknacks, as you see. This was a birthday present for me, my brother. The Ark Reactor from Iron Man. I also picked up this old McDonald's toy of Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars at the vintage toy store. And yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. But you didn't come here to talk about my Dex toys. We came to talk about Disney. And my next Disney tip is this. Lightning lanes are worth it. At least for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood. Animal Kingdom, you could probably get away with it because by the time you use all your lightning lanes for like 2 hours, you're done for the day. Because there's just not a lot going on right now. At least until the Tropical Milk is open with Indiana Jones and Kanto and the new carousel. So you got lightning lanes are 100% you need them for Magic Kingdom in Hollywood. If you want to ride every ride of Magic or enjoy them in one day, you cannot do it without lightning lanes. Hollywood, it'll just make your time easier, especially since walking roller coasters down as of this video. Until the Muppets Week theme of it opens up, you would need to know how that works. And so you would definitely need that understanding of the lighting lanes because it'll help me because you can, book your lighting lanes and enjoy the shows of Hollywood. Epcot, if you have it, you're chilling. Some of them you don't need it, but I would still recommend it for Epcot. Like the only park, Magic in Hollywood, you're 100% in. Epcot, you have to wait a little bit on some rides, but you might be able to survive without it. Animal Kingdom, you don't need light lanes. The individual light, so those lighting lanes, which is just for every single ride, minus the big ones, like the main attractions, like your Rise of Resistance, your Frozens, your Seven Dwarfs, or your Flight Passes. Those are called individual lighting lanes, which means those are not so lighting lanes are the not main or most popular rides at the park. Like all, but it still has good rides. Individual lighting lanes, the most popular ride in this park. If you want to get in the lighting lane for it, you got to pay extra. That's only for one or two, depending on which park, most popular ride for that park. Magic Kingdom, I believe, only has Seven Dwarfs Mine Train on it. I can and Tron Life Cycle 1. Hollywood Studios, to my knowledge, only Rise of the Resistance. Everything, all the other rides are regular light lane. Epcot. Trying to think. I think Guardians of the Galaxy might be the only one on Epcot for individual light lanes. Don't quote me on that, but I believe the only other thing I could think of is maybe Ratatouille, but I don't think I think Ratatouille got added to the regular one. Hollywood Rise Resistance. Obviously, he's on the paid one. And I think that's it. I think that's it for right now. So kind of a heads up regarding all of that. Now, let's get into the show. The big leagues, the shebang. How Craig Paul will fix it, or more like, for this segment, how will Craig Paul make a new Disneyland? If I were to make a Disneyland from scratch, how would I make it? Glad you asked. Let me pull up my map here. So, most likely, so this is like my dream scenario. If I were to create a Disney park from scratch, how would I make it? And I'm gonna try to be realistic with it. I'm gonna try to think of what would it actually look like? How would it actually the layout be? So I'm pulling up a image of an app just so I can have a visual representation. You listen to the podcast, you just have to follow along best you can. I'm getting the image now, so that way I'm going to use the Disneyland Park just because that one has the most lands compared to Disney World for when I, use the imagery for it. So let's start from the beginning. So let's just say Universal's open up a park. They are in Dallas. I'm gonna try to bring breaking live opening day cup. No, opening day cup is a problem where to go opening day. I don't know. I'm gonna try to go to it when it opens. Within the first month of it opening, I'm gonna try to make my way over there. And I'm gonna try to vlog the experience to post on the channel. And then I'll give a honest review of the park. I don't know why they call it honest reviews. I mean, shouldn't every review be honest? Anyway, so that's for the Universal kids coming to Dallas. Universal. Give this video to like 1 million views or something, so Universal can send me like a media pass so I can get in for free. It could be rad. It could be cool. Universal. Just drop a comment saying, "Yo, we'll send you there for free." Even make it look. I just want to go to Krusty Krab. I want to go to Krusty Krab in that land. But anyway, most likely, I'll be very shocked if Disney doesn't do something in Texas after Universal comes in. I'll be very surprised if they don't. So, but for this scenario, I'm gonna just assume Disney's gonna go full blown theme park. So, let's break into how I would create a Konvos Disneyland or a Disneyland from scratch how for my choosing. Now, we'll start from the intro. See, I'm gonna try to. Probably won't be able to get the video to show it right now. As you see, I'm trying to work on the camera. Can I screen share? Probably should have checked that before. Let me see. So we'll start from the beginning of the park. Most likely, I will 100% Main Street USA's gotta stay the same. You cannot, like that classic entranceway. Let me see if I'm looking up an image of the Disneyland park map. So that way, I'm going to try to sell my screen. I can kind of give you guys a breakdown of how I would create a Disneyland. Because I like, looking at things, with my eye. Let me see. But Main Street USA, how I will put it, I will obviously, I'll keep it in and I'll keep it pretty similar to how Disney World's Main Street is. Like kind of Oh, that's not what I want. Not what I want. There we go. Oh, enhance the image. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna set my screen. This is. Oh, I just realized my face was very on top. Let's see. Mhm. Is it gonna let me? Nope. Okay, so I'm just not gonna do it. That's a lot. That was a big waste of time. Sorry about that. But either way, still recording. Cool. Back to Disneyland. So I have. Do I have a map with Disney? Let's see. No, I don't. Either way, I gotta continue with the episode. But probably should be playing this. I decided to record this one last minute because I wanted to really get back. I want to create a habit of recording. So it's okay. I'm just gonna look at it from a heel. You guys will figure it out. So for Disneyland, Main Street USA, keep it more the same. I will maybe, add in some extra restaurants, make it a little bigger Main Street. More alleyways, kind of like how Wizard was gonna be playing, but Main Street will be more or less the same, maybe similar to Disneyland's, but bigger. Imagine Disneyland style Main Street, but bigger scale. This is what I would do for Disneyland, Texas. The hub will be very similar to Magic Kingdom's hub. It'll be big, big space for parades, fireworks, the walks. So nothing too crazy will change there. The castle would not be Cinderella's castle or Sleeping Beauty's. I would do. Part of me wants to do like Rapunzel's castle, but have a theme to not hotel, but how the castle parents were living in at the end of Tangled in that style or similar look. That that would be my top choice. Give Rapunzel whole castle. Now let's go to the lands. Now, Fantasyland will be very a kind of a mashup between Disneyland and Disney World's Fantasyland. Disneyland will have the space behind the all Disneyland, the one we're making up right now. It will have the space behind the castle for the classic dock rides. The rides I will include, and we'll go by this land by land for what I would put in my own Disney park if I could make one. Peter Pan's flight will easily be though. I'll throw in Mr. Toad because I like Mr. Toad a lot. Teacups and Dumbo will be in though. I will include a dark ride. I'm trying to up Beauty and the Beast, similar to a Enchanted with the Tokyo Disneyland ride, but I know they have a pattern for they have to wait so many years before they can do it. So we'll just assume Disney's trying to build this by 2032. I'll include a new version of a Beauty and the Beast dark ride. That has to be in this Fantasyland. I would do something unique and actually do a Fantasia dark ride. Like you go through each scenes, kind of like giving you a guided tour for the different scenes from the original Fantasia film. I feel like that can be cool. And I would do an original roller coaster based off of. I don't want to do. We'll get into more villain stuff later, but I'll do a fantasy coaster based off of some sort of dragon. Like there's a lot of like Dragon Mountain, like a mountain you're going again. It's original IP, similar to Matterhorn, but at the same time it's not the same thing as Matterhorn, but evolving a dragon. but a dragon looks di classic Disney-fied, but it's not a, at the same time, it's not an IP. So that could be cool. Then I will have that setup be similar to, Disney World's. We will have Seven Dwarf Mine Train. We will have a, a section of Fantasyland. We will have we'll have like a mini Beauty and the Beast land similar to Disney World, but we won't have Be Our Guests because we'll use kind of like Beast's Castle for the ride and make it similar to Disneyland as much as we can. We'll have some type of Gaston, you know, dock ride was like a shoot thing where you're shooting targets, like you're practicing hunting or something. Pretty cool. Well, see, my lights just flash. I think so. Hopefully, I don't lose power. It's very windy outside. So that'd be one thing I'll have. The next thing I'm trying to think of unique stuff for this Fantasyland. I'd love to have like a Sword in the Stone restaurant, similar to like Fire Nooks. We will have Winnie the Pooh, and it's a small one. We will have a version. We'll have a new 3D show, and though we won't have Mickey's Fall Magic, but we'll have a new unique show, and similar in style to Mickey's Fall Magic, but I don't know, a new unique 3D show story for Fantasyland. It'll be cool if something with Jimmy Cricket, you know, taking Pinocchio through the different Disney movies, talking about like him giving him examples of how wishes can come true, something like that. I'm just making this up on the fly. So that's Fantasyland, very similar stuff. Now, this is the crazy part of this park, of my me making up my own Disney park. There will not be a Tomorrowland. And I'm thinking realistic what Disney would do. They'll just because tomorrow always comes and it's the biggest land that they'll always have the chains or weaving. There's like no Tomorrowland that's open within the last 15 years. That's the same way from when it opened. The only one's China. So instead of Tomorrowland, we will have the biggest Avengers campus on the planet. The biggest one. We will have a copy of Spider-Man web serials that will be included in the land. A copy of, let me see, there'll be a people moval, but it'll be themed to Iron Man. But the ride vehicles will kind of look red and gold, have like your Arc Reactor, and Jarvis will be your narrator. We will have a Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe a copy of Missing Breakout. I don't want to copy too much from Disneyland, but we might have to. We might have to for that one. We will give it like Missing Breakout. There will be an Avengers Dark Ride, not the Avengers ride that's already coming, Avengers Defense, Infinity Defense that's coming to DCA, oh, Disney's California Adventure already. But this would be like a ride, Avengers Day of Doom, or Avengers the Destruct Doom's Destruction, or something like that. It would be a Doctor Doom will be the villain. We'll still have the classic characters like Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Captain America, Thor, Hawkeye. Like, it'll be kind of mainly like the OG characters fighting Doctor Doom, but mixed in will be the Fantastic Four, the 20th Century Fox X-Men, and all those guys. One other thing, there will be an X-Men show. It will be a oh no, we'll do an X-Men ride. An X-Men dark ride, kind of the style of Indiana Jones. Both the X-Men and Beast, you go through the, Xavier School for the Gifted. Beast recruits you to go help the X-Men on the mission to save the professor. You base it off kind of like the 20th Century Fox movies. Which could be cool. Or the reboot X-Men, because that's coming soon. We will have a Doctor Strange Shade So, Pim's Test Kitchen. There will be kind of a bigger scale with Condon Sun So. Think a small scale version of Indiana Jones, but I'll do a Black Panther theme, and it'll be a Black Panther table service restaurant. Sit down. There'll be a Captain America roller coaster. Imagine Tron Life Cycle 1, but you get recruited by Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes to go fight the Red Skull. And it's a suspended coaster, so it feels like you're using the something where you're almost like the Falcon wings, but it's like the Captain America Falcon, Sam Wilson's Falcon. But we have Sam Wilson and Chris Evans are both Captain America because those times that they sell the title Captain America together. So that's where I'll put Dell and some shops. There'll be like a kind of like a Quinjet jetpack flat ride, similar to kind of like how the Astro Oval was on top of Phenom Magic Kingdom, but it'll be like you're on a jetpack. So that would be Avengers Campus, Texas. So that's kind of one side of the park. The other side is where things are going to get a little mixed up. Frontierland, similar to this, it's going to be Frontierland, Texas. It's going to be one of the biggest parts of the park. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a lot of land, a lot of original stuff. This is so Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Country Bells are getting thrown in though. Country Bells will rotate every 3 months between the original show, the the Vacation Hoedown, the musical jamboree, the Disney one, and the Christmas one. So it'll be constantly rotating. Big Thunder Mountain will be the biggest Big Thunder. There'll be no Tom Sawyer Island. It'll be similar to Disneyland Paris. There will be a haunted mansion in Frontierland, um, similar to Disney World's, but the outside will look kind of more restaurant, abandoned. There will be a Hall President style show talking about the history of Texas and the Republic of Texas. That'll be included in this land. We will have a date. Let me see, I'm looking on my time. We will have a some type of pioneer ride. Trying to think. And again, this Frontierland's the size of like Disneyland's Frontierland and Adventureland and New Orleans Square. So this is a big Frontierland. We'll bring back an original concept that was supposed to go at Disney World, which is going to be a cowboy style power scalping ride called Redstone River Expedition. That will be included in this land. We'll bring that back. They already have everything. They already made the song for it. We'll just slap that bad boy in there. And other than that, we will also have a slow, a Jungle Cruise style ride, but it will contain animals of Texas and of the rest. And instead of it being themed to like going on a boat ride in Texas, you're going through some type of, hayride or something like that. Or it could be a boat. We could probably do both. I mean, there's water in Texas. So that's Frontierland, Texas, and it will have that name. So we have Fantasyland, Avengers Campus, Texas, and Frontierland, Texas. Adventureland will be included. It will include a version of Tiki Room, Jungle Cruise, and an Indiana Jones minecart roller coaster. And it will be a small scale Frontierland, and it will include Actually, I'll talk more about pirates in a second, but that'll be Adventureland. It'll be kind of have its own entrance. It'll be kind of small. It'll be more tropical and more like tiki theme or Polynesian theme. But those will be the rides in it. And it will include a version of Trader Sam's that's usually at a hotel, but it'll have to be in the park. And for pirates, there'll be a Pirate Cove, which will contain Pirates of the Caribbean, the classic style, and a new version style, two rides, including two rides. Pirates of the Caribbean, classic version of it, but slight differences to make it unique to all made up park. This will be in its own pirate themed land. It will also include a pirate scale boat ride and e-ticket similar to the one in Shanghai, but it won't be called pirate scale. It'll be something like Jack Sparrow or something. So that would be though. That would be his own unique feat. And so it'll be two pirate rides and a mini pirate land leading from Adventureland to the backside entrance of Frontierland. So if we're looking at the map, we'll go through Main Street, Avengers Campus, Fantasyland. There'll be an entrance into Frontierland that will lead into Pyroland, and a second entrance into the Big Frontierland. There'll be an entire entrance leading to the Big Old Frontierland. Now, one other land we will include a version of Galaxy's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but it will enter from Frontierland. There'll be two sides of Frontierland. So you'll enter through one side of it. So if this is Frontierland, so this is the section right here is part of our Frontierland for our park. You'll enter in here through Galaxy's Edge, or this will be Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Tatooine. So we'll do a Tatooine themed land that will include a pod racing ride based off the Clone Wars. So we'll have like Hayden Christensen, Ian McGregor, and all those prequel people come back, and it'll be a Clone Wars themed pod racing ride. Star Tours will include in this land because this land won't be set in a timeline, it'll be more of a celebration than Star Wars. The set timeline's cool, but it didn't work because you're limiting to what Kel's ropes can be though. So that will be that. Then here you'll segue into indoor, which will include a dark ride involving Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, similar to Rise of Resistance, but original trilogy, and a Mandalorian pseudo dark ride starring the Mandalorian. So that'll be all. So it'll be like Tatooine and Endor will be the two lanes you go into. And one final land we will include in my version of Disneyland. We will include a version of Water Frozen because it's just too popular not to include. We gotta include a Frozen. In this Frozen land, we will have Frozen Ever After, most likely. Again, we'll just assume that because the Oil Land Company have some rules, or deals with Disney of when stuff originates there, when they're allowed to bring it to another park. So we'll assume that it'll just be Frozen Ever After, similar to Hong Kong. Similar laid out with the Oaken ride, the Frozen ride. But we will include, and this will be above Fantasyland. You can enter from Star Wars Land and Fantasyland. You can enter this Frozen Land from both. It'll include the Oaken ride, but it'll be like a minute and a half longer than it actually is because it's like only like a 30-second or 45-second roller coaster. So we'll make it like triple the amount of length. We will include something similar to Alien Swirling Saucers or Mado's Junkyard Jamboree, but themed to, Kristoff and Spin and Wayne We'll include another family dock ride though. And a feedial for the Frozen Sing-Along, so we will throw that in that land, just because it's too popular not to include. And we will include a version of Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, but we'll include that in Fantasyland. That's one other thing I want to add. In Main Street, we will have great moments for Mr. Lincoln and the Walt Disney Presents So that will be something that will carry over to Main Street. But that is Konvos DisneyLand. If I was to make a Disney park today, that's how I would do it. And that's most likely if they were to go to Texas, if I was a betting man, it'll be something like that brought in, most likely. If I had to put money on it, something like that would be though. Maybe not as many rides as I mentioned. Maybe not. Maybe they probably won't do Star Wars. That'll be like they'll probably most likely do Avengers because I believe they can do that with the contract laws for the theme park rides for Marvel. But that's a topic on itself. They'll definitely do something with Frozen because Frozen's too popular not to include. But that is how I will make a Disneyland from scratch. Thank you guys so much for listening to this video and watching it. I'm gonna try to, add the videos, get more progressively, coming out. I'm gonna try to make them better, or progressively better. That's what I was trying to say. And that's all I got for you guys. I got one more thing to show you, something cool. Not that, not me wanting it. Dex. Yeah, let me fix that real fast before I end the episode. So this was a gift from Noah Marks for my birthday about a month and a half ago, month ago. So we know torn combos. So we did a Christmas teaser whenever we first came out with the podcast, and this was the prototype of it that we did. We tested out. He tested out with red, and now is the photo of me, Noah, on there. He autographed it, I autographed it. I'm gonna hang it up. By the time this video's out, I'm saying it will be hanging up. It's good. But something cool once said. It was a very awesome, thoughtful gift. But besides that, that is all I have for you guys. Hope you guys have a blessed day. See you guys next week. Again, please be sure to like and subscribe and share this video because the more people that watch, the more I'll be able to invest in equipment and stuff for the podcast. Thank y'all so much and have a blessed day. Goodbye, big fellas.